Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Alternatives to immersing in a mikveh for men. Does it help for a man to take a shower as an alternative? So in a previous lesson we discussed the two reasons why men immerse in a mikveh, either daily or on Shabbos or Erev Shabbos or periodically in Erev Hashanah Yom Kippur. One being for the sake of purification from the state of Baal Keri, and the second being for the sake of additional purity, Tesefes Tahara. And we discussed based on this the laws regarding immersing in a swimming pool, and that regarding the state of Baal Keri a special leniency applies, that even though a swimming pool is an invalid mikveh for halachic purposes which require a mikveh, nonetheless regarding the male state of Baal Keri, the sages said immersion even in a swimming pool which contains drawn water, Mayim She'uvim, is valid. However, for the sake of Tesefes Tahara, we brought a debate in the Poskim, and therefore concluded that it is best not to initially immerse in the mikveh that is made of drawn water, such as a swimming pool, and rather one is to immerse in a kosher mikveh or ocean, just as is required by everyone who biblically requires an immersion. We will now discuss regarding taking a shower. Is taking a shower another valid alternative to this immersion? So we have an explicit mission in Maseches Mikvahs, chapter 3, Mishnah 4, and it's recorded in the Poskim and the Alter Rebbe in chapter 88.1, 606.11, and other Achrayim in the Taz, the Magen Avram, the Yerabah, that in a time of need, if one is unable to immerse in a body of water, meaning not only is a kosher mikveh not available, not only is a ocean not available, but not even a body of Mayim She'uvim, of drawn water, is not available, such as a swimming pool, then and only then can one reside to the next option and next alternative to purify himself from his state of Keri, and that is through pouring 9 kavim of water over his body consecutively. How much is 9 kavim? It's about 12.5 liters of water. Practically, while in previous times this was performed by having another individual pour buckets of water on top of your head, no more than 2 to 3 buckets being poured consecutively until you reach the 12.5 liters to 9 kavim being poured on you. Practically today, this is fulfilled through simply taking a shower and sitting under the shower head for 3 to 4 minutes, depending on the pressure, until 12.5 liters of water have been poured over you due to the shower head. So rule the vast majority of daily ha-poskim, that even though some poskim hold that you need to have kayach gavra, the power of a human that's pouring the water over you to fulfill tesha kavim, purification, nonetheless the majority of poskim argue on this and rule that it is not necessary, and therefore even turning on the shower suffices. The way this is done is that one to stand straight under the shower head with his hands weakly folded over his chest for the period of 3 to 4 minutes and have the water fall on him consecutively without moving from under the stream. It's not necessary for the water to touch every part of his body so long as his hands are either folded by his side or by his chest, so the water can fall on them as well. Some poskim rule that one is likewise to wet his feet prior to beginning the process of the pouring. In order for this purification to be valid of showering, one needs to remove all chatzitzas from the body prior to doing so. And one must be in a standing position. It does not help to be lying in a bathtub or sit in a bathtub and have the water only be poured over the head. The cases in which this alternative of showering is to be used instead of a mikveh is, as we stated above, only if a mikveh is not available, or a swimming pool is not available of Mayim She'uvim, or it is painful for one to immerse in a mikveh, such as the water is too cold or one is sick. In these cases, one may reside to this last method of pouring the 9 kavim of water on his body. However, otherwise, one should not do so, as we've already explained, that the purpose of mikveh is also to bring additional purity onto the body, which cannot be accomplished through the pouring of 9 kavim. Now, what is one to do if he has absolutely no water available, or simply due to medical reasons cannot immerse his body in water, or even take a shower, as we mentioned? So in such a case, we find the following alternative. The Ben Ish Chai, as well as other poskim, record that one is to do the following. He is to pour water in his hands like doing negovasser for a total of 40 times, corresponding to the 40 saw of a mikveh. The order in which it is done is as follows. One first pours 10 times on each hand, alternating between each pouring between the 2 hands, and then pour another 10 times consecutively on each hand, for a total of 40. Based on Kabbalah, one is to intend the divine name of Hashem with the 72 letters, which is done by intending each letter of Hashem's name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, as it's spelled out in full, by each one of the pourings. The exact kavanah can be found in the article under the footnote section. The Rebbe, however, points out that this alternative that we mentioned of pouring 40 times is only an alternative to the Tesefes Tara, the additional purity that a mikveh gives, and is not in place of purifying the person for the state of Keri. Accordingly, however, one who is only able to immerse in drawn water such as a swimming pool, or take a shower with 9 kavim as we mentioned, and in addition, in order to get the additional purity aspect of a mikveh, he should do this alternative of pouring 40 times on his 2 hands, 20 on each hand as we explained. Another alternative recorded in the Rebbe's letters is to learn Mishnayos, dealing with the laws of mikveh, such as Maseches Mikvahs, and this likewise accomplishes giving the person additional purity that immersing in a mikveh accomplishes. So to summarize, initially a person who needs to immerse is to immerse in a kosher mikveh that's kosher for everybody. If it's not available, then the next best body of immersion is a pool, a body of water that has drawn water inside. If that is also not available, then one is to take a shower for 3 to 4 minutes with the water dropping on him consecutively, and this purifies him from the state of Baal Keri. If this too is not available, then one is to either learn Mishnayos Mikvahs or pour water in his hand 40 times, as we explained. And as we explained, this should be done even in a case that one takes a shower in order so he benefit from the additional purity that a mikveh gives one upon immersing in it.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.